RubeSheets.com takes almost any fantasy football format and generates a cheat sheet. Use it for your auction or your snake draft. Superflex, 2QB, 14 or only 4 teams, $100 or $300 auction budget, TD heavy scoring, even milestone scoring. Rube Sheets can do it. Originally created by a fantasy football veteran that works in the financial services industry who felt way behind in fantasy prep one year and built this site to do everything at the push of a button. Go to RubeSheets.com and click Football Auction Cheat Sheet today.
Welcome to the Dynasty Dads Podcast. Football, rankings, debates, dad stuff with your host, Justin Williams and Matt Renshaw.
Hey, welcome everyone to this edition of the Dynasty Dads Podcast. I am your host, Justin, hot and fresh out in the kitchen, Williams, and with me as always, Matt Renshaw. Matt, how are you today?
Is that an Usher reference?
You damn well know.
Usher.
You damn well know.
Wow. What's he up to? I don't even know. Is he like 50 now? 45?
I don't know, man. I don't keep up with Usher.
Oh, you just quoted the guy?
I just play that jam. And it kind of correlates today because today is the Hot Takes episode.
Hot take it or leave it.
Hot take it or leave it. So for those of you who didn't catch us last year in our infancy,
Yeah.
we had a hot take episode and kind of put us on the map,
It was
really.
the one that started getting us attention.
Yeah, when we look back at it, those downloads were pretty crazy. But
And some of the hot takes were pretty crazy, too.
yeah, and a couple of them came true.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
after we get through the news and notes today and the kids' stories, of course, we're going to go ahead and we're going to tell everybody our hot takes. We're going to share some of the hot takes from Twitter at Dynasty Dads. And, yeah, Matt and I are probably going to argue quite a bit.
That's a fact. There's no probably about that. I've seen some of your hot takes there. They're not realistic at all.
What a tease. So before we start, we just want to give a special shout out to our brand new sponsor, RubeSheets.com. Have you checked that out yet, Matt?
I have. It's amazing. You can change all your league settings, and it helps you make a cheat sheet. It's amazing.
It is fully customizable and absolutely free, and I highly recommend that everybody check it out. There's going to be a link in the podcast description. So moving on, while you're on the interwebs and your computers, go ahead and check out dynastydads.com, and then hit us up on Twitter. We are at dynastydads. And while you're doing us all these favors, go ahead and log on to iTunes and give us a 5-star review or maybe a 4-star review. Or if you're going to do a 3-star review, be sure to say something really hilarious about Matt. Then it's okay.
I hate you.
Well, uncalled for.
I hate you.
Matt, kid stories.
Kid stories.
How'd your week go?
So I went back to work this week, and so I spent all summer with the girls, and I went back to work this week, and
Bum.
yeah, it stinks going back to work. I would love to stay home. No, I don't know if that's true. Anyway, so I go back to work, and all throughout the summer, it's not a big deal that I'm home with the girls, and then I come home. Like during the school year when I come home, the kids are like, "Oh yeah, Dad's home, cool, whatever." First day back home from work, and the girls, "Dad," run over, scream, give me a big old hug, and I'm like, "This is why I stayed home this summer." So it was really cool. It's just kind of a cool dad, like it's like in the movies when the kids see you and get all excited and run over and give you a big old hug. So that's like my highlight with the kids this week.
Yeah, I'm lucky if Carson pulls his head up from the iPad when I walk in.
Yeah, but he's 8.
True.
Mine are 2 and 1. So it's different.
Carson had his first day. That was
school?
today. Yeah, that was today, which that was pretty exciting. First day, and my gosh, a lot of kids.
What's he, 2nd grade, 3rd grade?
2nd grade, a lot of kids. A lot of kids were at this school, and they were all over the place. And you see a lot of different parents and
types of parents.
How
many parents were wearing pajama pants on the first day of school?
There were a few, but there were also a few parents that were dressed nicely, which was nice to see. And I'm not saying I wear my suit and tie to go drop the kid off or pick him up, but it's just one of those things there's a lot of people here.
Yeah.
I've never been the type to just put pajama pants on and then go to the store. That's never been me.
I remember when I was 13, I went to Blimpies to get a sandwich. And I was wearing Tasmanian devil slippers. Mm-hmm. And I would not forget the look that I got when I walked in from this 18, 19-year-old girl who was ordering a sandwich. She was like, "Is that guy really wearing Tasmanian devil slippers?"
See, no, there's an acceptable time
I was 12, 13 years old.
Yeah, there's an acceptable time. What are you doing at 12 or 13 years old? Did you walk to Blimpies?
No, I went, like, my dad was running errands, and I said, hey, can we stop at Blimp? Like, I want to get dinner or something. That's where I picked for dinner, and I had slippers on. I think. I don't know. I don't remember what I was doing. I just remember walking into Blimpies with slippers on.
This story doesn't add up. So you went with your dad to go run errands?
Yeah.
In your pajama?
I think I was in, like, shorts, a T-shirt, and slippers.
And then you were just like, hey, yo, I want to get some Blimpies.
Can we get, yeah.
And then did you walk in alone, or was your dad with you?
My dad gave me, like, $12, whatever, to get $10, $15. I don't know how much it cost. But, yeah, I went and got
he handed you the cash and said, go get yourself some Blimpies?
Yeah. He's like, go ahead. Yeah. Is that weird?
What did he do?
He sat in the car and waited for me.
Huh.
Was that weird?
A little. That just doesn't... I feel like we're missing a really important piece of the story. Did something else happen that you want to talk about?
No. Dude,
Do you want me to stop the podcast so we can talk about it?
Shut up. I'm almost 30. Like, things... You forget things. I don't remember everything from when I was 13. I just remember walking in with Tasmanian devil slippers and...
I just find it weird that you remember the Tasmanian devil part of it for the details, but there's just some details missing from the story.
From the girl because I was wearing the Tasmanian devil. She was like looking at my slippers. Yeah, she was a good looking girl. Yeah.
All right.
That's probably why I remember it. But
nice.
Yeah, it was weird.
Nice.
Anyway, pajama pants, Tasmanian devil slippers.
Yeah. So first day of school for Carson today. I'll get you out of this. First day of school for Carson, second grade, which was just awesome. Teacher seems nice. And it was actually pretty special because my wife actually got to drop him off and pick him up for first day of school, which is something she hasn't been able to do. So
yeah.
It was a good day.
We had our redraft league that we drafted this past weekend.
Oh, that's right.
I'd like to say that my team looks very good.
It's a 10-team redraft, so everybody loves their team.
That's not true. There's one guy that should not love his team.
Well, that guy doesn't really pay as close of attention as gurus like us.
And guru.
But...
He only had one running back.
2 running backs. Thank you very much. He drafted 2 running backs, and that was pretty bad.
Through like round 12, he only had one running back.
Yeah,
and he picked a kicker before he picked his second running back.
That was bad, but that's not the kind of listener base we have right now. These people do not care about that.
I know.
They're not the people that are going to do that in their drafts. They're smarter than that. We have an upper echelon of listeners here, Matt. These guys aren't going to do that kind of stuff.
Funny way to say that. Yeah.
So, boy.
News. Let's get to the news.
What a freaking week. Okay, so let's talk. This is probably the headline, I think, of the week. Adrian Peterson is now a member of the Washington professional football team. And, Matt, I want to know, what has this done to the value of the remaining running backs there in Washington?
Adrian Peterson signed the washed-up running backs that are still looking for jobs that found one. Nothing. I mean, Chris Thompson's still the running back to own in Washington.
So in PPR, you would take Chris Thompson over any of those guys, right?
Yeah, in PPR.
And we're talking Rob Kelly, P. Ryan, Chris Thompson, AP.
Yep.
In Standard, would you still do the same?
Yes.
I think things change a little for me in Standard. I think it's Rob Kelly.
It's Rob Kelly over Adrian Peterson.
I think
you are the biggest Adrian Peterson lover.
No. Excuse-moi. I do not think so, my friend.
My goodness.
All of my teams this year, last year, and the year before that were what? Adrian beat your son.
Hey, do you
not a big fan of the guy?
You were right. I didn't say you liked him as a person, but you were all over him going to Arizona.
Disgusting.
And all over him setting some record that is meaningless that you probably don't remember now.
Last season, yeah, because I seen value there and I thought it was great. It didn't work out. It worked out for one game where he broke some kind of record. I don't remember what it was either.
Exactly.
It had something to do with his age and obtaining some kind of statistical. I don't know, but it was because of his age. Statistical like stat.
I know. Yeah.
Okay. So is it Chris Thompson or nothing for you then in that backfield?
Yes, absolutely.
That's a pretty good way to put it for you.
Yeah.
I'm interested in Kelly. I'm interested in Chris Thompson, but I think this kind of, we've talked about this before. When you have a bunch of guys at one position on one team that have a chance, you really don't have anybody.
Yeah. Chris Thompson's the guy.
Yeah.
The guy.
To update a story from last week, Naeem Hines, he's still terrible.
Butterfingers.
Da-na-na.
I think Naheem
Da-na-na.
translates to Butterfingers in English.
Yeah. 4 fumbles in 2 preseason games, which I'm assuming that has to be a record somewhere.
The man's playing on skates.
There was once talk of him possibly dethroning Mac, and it seems laughable at this point. He's now,
I don't know. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I just
Mac hasn't seen the field, but Hines has looked worse.
he's looked bad enough to where you don't want to see him on the
Right.
field.
That's why Wilkins is the back to own.
And in kind of related news, the Colts also just cut Josh Ferguson, which I know no one was talking about Josh Ferguson, but at least he had, some years under his belt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, wow, we're looking at Marlon Mack and
Jordan Wilkins.
Jordan Wilkins, thank you. And that's really about it. I don't think I would touch Hines at all. What do you do with Hines if you drafted him already? What do you do?
You hold him and pray for a big week to trade him?
I trade him to anybody that throws anything my way.
Oh, really? Anything?
Just about.
I know how you value third-round picks. So.
Just about. I don't know. I would really consider it. If somebody sent me a third-round pick for Hines and they were a terrible team, I'd really probably consider it. I think Hines is absolutely done. I'm totally out on Hines. Okay. I have no desire.
So let me ask you, what about Christian?
He doesn't look like he deserves to be on an NFL roster.
What about Christian Michael?
What about Christian Michael?
He's on the Colts running back depth chart as well.
I think, isn't he suspended for a game or two?
No, that's Robert Turbin.
That's Turbin, you're right. I think Christian Michael had his chance. I'm not really there.
I can't do it. I can't do it. It's been how many years where he just gets hyped and then nothing.
I do like me some Marlon Mack, though.
I know you do, but
this year
you shouldn't. Get off Marlon. Get off Marlon.
Terrence West is officially a free agent. Cut from the Saints after signing in June. Didn't look terrible in the preseason. Averaged 5 yards a carry. Current depth chart minus Mark Ingram for the suspension.
Yep.
Alvin Kamara, Jonathan Williams, Trey Edmonds, Shane Vereen.
Your boy.
Outside of Kamara and Ingram, what is the play here? Are you?
I'll let you go first.
Are you investing in Jonathan
That's your boy, man.
Jay Will. He's actually my cousin.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
No,
but
he's not.
He is somebody that I'm not really.
First 4 weeks, yes.
I'm not really investing in because it's such a limited time frame, and I don't know. It could be something really special. He could be a complete dark horse.
I don't know why more people aren't talking about Vereen.
Because I don't think Vereen's going to get a lot of play.
I don't. Sean Payton makes his running backs do stuff
Yeah, but Kamara is like an upgraded version of Shane Vereen. It's like that meme.
But if Kamara gets hurt, then Vereen gets value. He's a stash.
You'd have to have such deep league.
Yeah.
He's
I'm taking Jonathan Williams
everywhere.
if I can get him dirt cheap for the first 4 weeks and maybe trade him after 1 or 2.
Rashad Penny for the Seattle Seahawks is putting on some weight.
Yeah.
He's up 16 pounds since the combine.
That's a few pennies.
That is hey. That is a lot of weight for a guy getting his teeth kicked in by Chris Carson. Am I right?
Man.
Am I right? With this on top of that broken finger that he had to have surgery on, how low are you on Penny?
I'm still higher on Penny than I am on Carson.
Penny, for your thoughts?
Yeah. Higher on Penny than Carson. I know I don't trust what's his name? Old man River up there.
What are we talking about?
The Seahawks coach.
Oh, Pete
Carroll, thank you. Old man River. He's like the oldest coach in the NFL.
Is he?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, I don't trust him when he talks about running backs. So,
give me Chris Carson all day.
of course.
Over Penny? Absolutely. Sick value.
If Penny's value is going to drop, I'll add him now.
Sick value.
They drafted him 19th overall, or they were going to draft him. They drafted him in the first round. He's going to get used.
Charkandrick West, cut by the Chiefs, saved the team $1.7 million. 27-year-old, but he just could not get on the field for training camp thanks to a pesky concussion. Say that 3 times fast.
Pesky concussion, pesky concussion, pesky concussion.
Show off. Spencer Ware, Damian Williams, and Kerwin Williams follow Kareem Hunt on the depth chart now. How crazy of a value is Spencer Ware?
I love Spencer Ware's value right now. No one is talking about him.
No one's talking about him.
He didn't play last year because he got hurt. He was a good player.
Early. Yep. Yeah, Spencer Ware was a great. Easy.
Watch yourself.
He was a good player before last year, and hopefully he recovers well. And I think he's going to get a pretty decent opportunity. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but Damian Williams and Kerwin Williams just mean absolutely nothing to me.
Those are your cousins too?
Distant, like cousin,
like not related,
like cousin of a cousin. It's weird.
So fourth cousins.
Charles Sims lands himself on the IR.
Yep.
You ready for Peyton Barber?
I love Peyton Barber's value. I love the fact that he's going to be the starter and no one is talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's starting to hate on Rojo, so that pendulum is starting to swing back. But go get Peyton Barber.
Yeah, in our redraft league, I seen that you picked him up, the one that we just drafted.
I did.
Peyton Barber went undrafted.
I pulled a Nairobi, and I drop my defense to pick up Peyton Barber until this whole situation gets figured out.
And I own Ronald Jones, and I actually had the claim, and then I deleted it because I was like, I was going to give up Calvin Ridley to get Peyton Barber. And Calvin Ridley is like my wide receiver 5, and in that league, you only need to start a minimum of 2.
Yeah.
So I was like, screw it.
Yeah. You can trade for him. I'll trade you.
No, I wouldn't even pick him up for like the guy that's at the end of my roster. So Calvin Ridley's the worst player on my team. Which I think that's saying a lot, but hey, that's just
bad.
me. Kenny Britt was cut by the Patriots, saved $1.3 million on the cap, and now it's time for them to sign Des
I was
Bryant.
gonna say, are they paving the way for Des? Is that what they're doing?
I hope so. We're going to talk a little bit more about Des Bryant, so I don't want to go too deep into it.
Fuego. You're in fuego take.
Yeah, but
That's probably
that'd
the
be
hottest
great.
one.
That'd be so good.
I don't think so. I don't think it's. I mean, it would be probably the best landing spot for him.
Play 1 year with Tom Brady.
Yeah. Could you imagine Gronk, Dez, Hogan?
They'd be so good for
Edelman?
the first 4 weeks until they're all injured. Be great.
Well, Edelman's out 4 weeks, so by the time
Oh, there you
he'll come back healthy and be good.
go. All right, last one. Victor Cruz officially retired last Tuesday. Apparently, he's going to be working at ESPN. I don't know where. Couldn't find it. Didn't really
dance
care enough to
department.
look.
ESPN sucks. Who cares?
The salsa department. Undrafted free agent in 2010 that fell into the Giants' lap. Produced a couple of 1,000-yard seasons and lived out most players' dream by scoring a touchdown in a winning effort in Super Bowl 46 against the Patriots.
Yep.
I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Didn't
Was
really
that the
do
one
anything
where the
else.
Patriots
but
were
who cares?
undefeated?
I believe so.
Or no, that was the helmet. That was the helmet catch.
David Tyree.
That's the one.
Either way, still pretty cool. Catch a touchdown, win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're an undrafted free agent, I think that's pretty sweet. That's all I got, Matt.
Are you
So,
ready?
no, I'm not ready. Let's
not
take a
ready?
quick break. I am going to sip on my tea, take a
course.
tinkle, and I will be right back. So, stay tuned. Matt, I was only gone for like a minute, but apparently there's some breaking news. Just came into the Seagram's Escape Studio.
Yes. I told you about this breaking news.
Yes, you did. Tyrod Taylor just left the game with an apparent wrist injury.
Yep.
Tell us more.
So he's taking a sack on 4th down. The Browns looked awful on the series, but landed a lot of weight on his wrist as he was running off the field. It looked like it was just dangling. Week 1 could be in question. Is it Mayfield time?
The buns are in the oven. It's time for the baker.
Oh, I don't get it. But Baker. You know, they play the Steelers week 1, and that defense is not that good. So Baker could go out and put up a lot of yardage and fantasy points. And
The Steelers against a rookie quarterback just scares the piss out of me. So I'm not in. Not in.
but it's a rookie quarterback with Josh Gordon to throw the ball to.
Yeah, that's kind of my point. All right, so let's see. We got some hot takes, right?
We got some hot takes.
Before we get into ours, do you want to read some of the tweets?
So we've got
tweets?
some listener hot takes. Former in-studio guest, Cody Madsen, says that Marcus Mariota is going to finish as a QB1 this year. I don't have the data on that. I'm assuming he's being drafted QB 15, 16.
Yeah, definitely outside the first,
Top
the QB1 type range. So.
Yeah.
Boy, Marcus Mariota had kind of a rough year last year. Hasn't really put together quarterback 1 number since he started, 2 years ago? It's
Yep.
going to be his 3rd year in the NFL. I mean, Marcus Mariota or Jameis Winston. I think I'm taking Mariota.
Oh, yeah. Give me Mariota in that, of those two.
Interesting. All right, what else we got?
So Techno Vikings fantasy football. So the handle is at Techno Vikings FF. Chris Godwin outscores Mike Evans. Hot take it or leave it. This is easy, dude. Don't overthink this.
Yeah, I feel like you would have to overthink it to take a good one, right?
Godwin. Chris Godwin.
Oh, Chris Godwin. I thought we were talking. I got him and Marquise Goodwin.
No,
I'm
Chris
sorry.
Godwin of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Chris Godwin over Mike Evans. No, it's Mike Evans all the way.
Yeah. I know Mike Evans had a down year last year, but there's no way that Godwin outscores Evans It's just not going to happen.
No. Okay.
Evans is the clear-cut wide receiver 1 on an offense that's going to force him the ball since Ronald Jones sucks.
I know they're supposed to be hot takes, but I mean they're supposed to be.
That's hot. I mean, that's a hot one.
Well, yeah, but you know what else is hot is saying like I don't know, a kicker is going to throw 3 touchdowns this year.
That's hot.
We should get like that clip of Paris Hilton saying that's hot, and like every time we say that's hot, we just play that. That's hot.
Here's another hot one. This is from
Nicole Richie was always kind of like dirty looking.
Yeah,
You wouldn't take Nicole Richie home to mom.
she kind of looked like Christina Aguilera when she was ex-Tina.
And like drunk.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they both were drunk all the time. Anyway, so Doug Fall at Doug Fall NFL. Here's a super hot take. No rookie running back will finish the season as an RB1. So the big takeaway there is Saquon Barkley is not going to finish as an RB1. Hot take it or leave it.
Nicole Richie seems like that type of girl that would like get with any type of guy.
Out of here.
I'm sorry. What were we
She
talking
married
about?
one of the guys from, not Lincoln Park. Good Charlotte.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, that says a lot.
So Barkley's not an RB1. No rookie running back's RB1, but that's the take here. Hot take it or leave it.
There's been a pretty good history lately with rookie running backs in their first year.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to go against that one.
Last year there was a ton of rookie running backs in the top.
Yeah.
Hunt, Kamara,
I just
McCaffrey,
think we have so many guys
Fournette.
that like say what you want about them, but there's a lot of guys that are in really good situations as far as like opportunity goes. Ronald Jones doesn't have a ton to deal with. Saquon Barkley obviously is in a prime
Kerryon
position.
Johnson.
Kerryon Johnson doesn't have much there. Hell, if you're a Penny believer, I can see somebody saying, Penny could outplay Chris Carson when the real game starts.
If Geis didn't tear his ACL, there would be like if I got Geis and Barkley, I'm taking those two in the RB1 conversation.
Yeah, no, I'm against that one.
I'm gonna leave that one too. This is probably our hottest one,
Ooh, that's high.
but it's gross. You sounded dirty when you said that too.
I had to.
McCaffrey will finish as the RB1 overall.
Well, it's bold, but it's possible.
Yeah,
It's bold. It's possible. So I'm not going to go against it.
that was half of it. The other half was Marlon Mack is going to finish as the RB2 overall.
No,
Nope.
I'm way out there.
Nope. That was-
They're going to get Wilkins involved. Christine Michael, no.
Yeah, I don't think so either. That's Nairobi 03. Last one.
I know that guy.
Rookie quarterback take. At the Fantasy MM, Fantasy Madman, Josh Allen will start all 16 games, and he finishes as a top 15 quarterback in fantasy.
It's bold. I don't think being the top 15 is that bold, I guess.
I'm going to take it.
It's like, ooh, you're just good enough to not start anywhere.
I'm going to take that one. I'll take that one.
Okay.
Because-
it just doesn't mean anything.
No, but I think it's...
Congratulations. You're good enough to not start. Like in a
He could start in a
14-team league.
Superflex league.
14-team league.
You're not the... Yeah.
You're still on a bench. So I don't think that makes any
I
difference.
think the Bills are going to be behind a lot and have to throw a ton, and I think it'll be okay.
Sure.
So you're taking it or leaving it?
Whatever.
Oh, okay. Let's get to your awesome hot takes here. Then, jeez
just
Louise,
saying.
you're gonna laugh
That
at
one-
everyone else's.
I just don't get that one, I guess.
I can't wait for your like hottest take, and everyone can hear it and just like at you. And
My hottest take
make
is definitely
fun
that.
of you.
Are we getting started?
if you want to start, or do you want to take a break?
I don't
Or
need to take a break. I'm ready.
oh man, where is it? Are you gonna? We'll leave it to for the end. Like it's just not. Oh,
What?
go ahead.
Do you want me to read these in order?
However you want to read it, man.
That's hot.
It's your hot take.
Andrew Luck plays all 16 games for the season.
Is that hot?
I think it's hot considering his injury history.
Why? Has there ever been a season where he hasn't played all 16 games? When he played, like I know last year he didn't play any
You're gonna
games.
make me Google stuff.
Oh my goodness, it's not that hard to find. It's your hot take.
It's not that hard to find. Just give me 1 second. Why don't you talk about something for a second?
I've already found it, so I don't know what you're talking about. So there is no. Last year, obviously, he didn't play at all. And in 2015, he played 7 games, and in 2016, he played 15 games. So in the last 3 years, he's never played all 16 games.
There you go.
So are we talking like if for some crazy reason that the Colts go 12-4, does he play week 16? Like, does that count in your hot take? Like they go, oh, we're going to give Brissett the start.
It was mostly a goof. That's kind of why I started off with it. I didn't think you were going to be coming guns blazing.
Hey, man, this is
I'm
hot
over
take
here
it or
doing
leave it.
Paris Hilton impersonations.
Take it
You're
or leave
taking
it.
it seriously.
Yes. Okay, so it's not serious.
All right, Matt. Come on. Why don't you share one of your
Man, I'm going
takes.
with the one that I know is going to get you fired up. This is a Jarvis Landry hot take, and it's Josh Gordon is going to outscore Jarvis Landry, and it's not that hot of take if you're going by stats because their ADP is very similar. Gordon is wide receiver 20, Landry's wide receiver 21, but Josh Gordon is much more talented and has clearly shown that he can be a top 5 wide receiver when he's healthy and on the field and healthy mental health.
Wow. That was amazing that you just said that.
I know. He. How can you argue with that?
That Josh Gordon is immensely more talented? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Dude, that's not even worth responding to.
Oh my goodness. Have you seen
immensely more talented than Jarvis Landry?
Yeah, Jarvis Landry.
If you want to say more talented, it's arguable. I get it. You want to say better, whatever. To say he's immensely more talented is irresponsible, quite frankly.
You don't watch Hard Knocks. You don't know how good he looks in training camp.
Right, because that's what matters.
No, I'm not talking about Josh Gordon. I'm talking about Jarvis Landry.
I just can't believe you can even... Wow.
Yeah, Gordon finishes better than Landry. I'm taking it. Obviously, it's my take, and I know you're not taking it.
Just from a mental health standpoint, like outside the field standpoint, I don't think I'd even come close to that. Like that's a factor here, is it not?
No, it is.
We haven't even seen Josh Gordon play.
Nope.
This year.
We haven't seen Ezekiel Elliott play this year either. Are we concerned about him?
No, I'm not saying that. I don't know, man. Jarvis Landry looks like he's primed to freaking have a real breakout for this team. And you want to put your money on Josh Gordon?
That's right.
You're crazy.
Once a Josh Gordon truther, always a Josh Gordon truther.
I guess.
I've been on the Josh Gordon train for years.
Jarvis Landry has 400 catches on 4 years. He's averaging 100 catches a season.
Yeah, from the Dolphins.
Okay, I would argue the Dolphins at this point, like last year, the Dolphins would probably be just as good, if not worse, than the Browns are right now. The Browns are primed to actually do something this year.
Josh Gordon put up 1,600 yards in 14 games.
1 year. When was that?
2013.
2013. How much has your life changed since 2013? How much slower are you now than you were in 2013? I know you're not a prime athlete like these guys are.
I'm not slow. I don't
You're
think I'm slower.
I guarantee you, you're slower.
From 2013? No, I'm probably about
You're
the same.
dumb.
No,
You're
I'm
dumb.
serious.
That's dumb. I can't even believe it. I don't even know why we're talking
Josh
about
Gordon's
this.
27. He's not, and he's an athlete. He's a freak of an athlete. Have you seen?
I agree.
Yes.
Jarvis Landry's 2 years younger too.
Yeah. But Josh Gordon hasn't taken the hits that Jarvis Landry has. Josh Gordon's healthy, man.
Shut up.
Took a whole season off last year. Played a couple games at the end. He's in good shape.
Yeah, he's in real good shape, I'm sure.
5 games last year.
I'm not saying Josh Gordon's going to be irrelevant. Like I think, if he does something great, but to say that he's not going to, gosh, I know, I just can't even. To say that he's going to be better than Jarvis Landry this year, to me, is nuts. It makes no sense. Jarvis Landry is obviously the heart and soul of that team already. I'm not even kidding.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Oh, yeah.
He's a total leader.
Because he was in the receiver room telling guys we're not going to not practice.
Dude's a leader. Him with Baker I'm telling you, is going to be nuts. That's
okay. So if Jarvis is the leader, why can't Gordon be the quiet guy that just tears it up? Because there's no attention on him. He doesn't have to worry about being the focal. Like they don't want to ask him questions after games. They want to talk to the leaders, Baker and Jarvis.
Jarvis Landry is averaging 100 catches a season and 1,000 yards.
Yep.
Averaging it.
Yep. And I'm telling you right now, I'm taking Josh Gordon over Jarvis Landry.
You go ahead. You lose.
I can't wait. I can't wait to be right on that and have you be like, oh, I was wrong.
All right. Speaking of wide receivers that are underwhelming.
Wait. Can I ask you if this is like a real hot take or if this is like a Paris Hilton, you're faking it hot take?
What?
Do your next one. Is it real or are you like...
Oh, no, this is absolutely real.
Okay.
The rest of these are all real.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, and the luck one's real. I realized it wasn't hot. That's why I started off with it.
Okay.
I know it's not that hot.
Okay. Get out of here. That's gross for you to like.
Especially in your headphones
like
too.
that.
That's the best part. So mine is that's hot. Alan Hearns, new Cowboys wide receiver. He finishes third or worse in PPR fantasy points for the Cowboys wide receivers. I think that's pretty hot. Terrence Williams, Cole Beasley, Michael Gallup, Tavon Austin are all the other notable wide receivers over there in Dallas.
Did you say Tavon Austin?
I did. Tavon's going to be floating back and forth. Let's not lie to ourselves. Especially when they realize how terrible he is at running back.
Yeah, he's not a running back. At least on MFL, he's a wide receiver now.
Dude, just because MFL says it, they can't listen at both of them. I don't know why you're using that for a stat.
No, I'm just saying
he's going to float back and forth between running back and wide receiver. They're going to let him do both because he's not good at one or the other. That's why. Tavon Austin's a waste of space on a roster. I said it.
I think you're wrong.
Anyways, signed it to. What do you think about Tavon? Jesus, we are like 3 hot takes in. What do you think about Tavon Austin?
I found this on YouTube. Tavon Austin. I don't think he's going to be a running back. I think he's going to play wide receiver.
Do you think Tavon Austin's going to be fantasy relevant whatsoever?
No.
Then why are we talking about Tavon Austin? Shut up. There's no reason to stop me about Tavon Austin if you don't think he's going to be relevant.
He's not a running back.
He's not a wide receiver either.
Yes, he is.
Not really.
He's a wide receiver.
He might line up as one once in a while, but he's not a wide receiver.
He's a wide receiver. He could outscore Hearns.
What do you just say he's a wide receiver because that's what NFL has him at right now?
No,
is that why?
I say he's a wide receiver.
Is that your?
I say he's a wide receiver because he hasn't taken a snap at running back in this preseason, in the camp, in anything. They haven't worked him at running back. He's a wide receiver. That's why I say he's a wide receiver.
Sure, whatever. Jesus, he's not going to be relevant. We agree he's not going to be relevant. I don't know why you're arguing with me about what his technical position is on the Dallas Cowboys depth chart, which we have no access to whatsoever.
We have access.
We do not have access to the official Dallas Cowboys depth chart where it lists what he is. There's plenty of people that are predicting, and it doesn't freaking matter, even if you could call up Jason Garrett himself.
Jason Garrett doesn't make those decisions. Jerry Jones does. I got you fired up with that Jarvis take, didn't I?
It was so stupid. Then following up with the Tavon Austin thing was just dumb.
Okay, so Alan Hearns finishes third on the Cowboys.
Are we still recording?
I sure hope so.
Yeah, so he finishes third or worse on the Cowboys. Currently, Alan Hearns has an ADP of 11-11, and of that group of wide receivers, Michael Gallup is the only one being drafted higher. Round 10, pick 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are you asking me what my thoughts are?
I'm not asking you
okay.
Nothing. I'm not asking you anything. I'm just saying.
Third or worse. So who finishes better than him? You're saying Gallup?
I think there's a realistic opportunity that Terrence Williams, Cole Beasley, Michael Gallup, definitely not Tavon Austin, but those other guys, I think they could all do better than Alan Hearns.
I could see Gallup finishing higher.
Easily. I can see Terrence Williams for some reason finally doing something consistent.
I hate Terrence Williams. I actually think Beasley's a sleeper wide receiver.
Yeah, pick. For PPR leagues, he's gonna rack up some points there, and I think I really just don't think Alan Hearns is that good of a player.
Yeah, it's not surprising. Yeah, I'd probably take that.
All right, what else? What other poo poo do you got coming out of your mouth here?
Poo poo, get out of here. Jarvis Landry, not as good as Josh Gordon. I think you're gonna agree with me on this one. So we got our ADP data from Fantasy Football Calculator. And it says Deion Lewis is currently being drafted as the running back 31, and Derrick Henry is currently being drafted as the RB 17. I am buying Deion Lewis and saying he will finish higher than Derrick Henry. Easily.
Yeah, I think you and I have been on the same page about Derrick Henry. We never really understood all the hype and how everybody were giving up their first-round picks and second-round picks with it. And
I've taken so much flack for this on Twitter. I remember during the playoffs, like after his big game, I'm like, sell him while you can right now. And then he had a clunker against New England, and everyone's still high on him now. Get rid of him. They brought in Deion Lewis. Deion Lewis is going to be an offensive weapon. He's going to catch passes. I don't know if you know this, but he ran between the tackles for New England to end the season and carry New England into to playoffs. So give me Deion Lewis all day.
It does remind me so much. It's probably just because of the team, and then there's a bit of a weight difference.
Thunder and Lightning?
Thunder and Lightning, yeah. Chris Johnson and Lendell White. It just reminds me so much of that. And if they can come close to that, I mean, you'd be golden.
Yeah.
Chris Johnson was obviously the guy to have, but still, I remember having Lendale White and being just happy.
Your goal line plotter that just broke in and scored touchdowns.
Yeah, so I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, that's good. I think that's probably the only one we're going to agree on.
Probably. Laquan Treadwell outscores Will Fuller in PPR leagues. Fuller is currently being drafted late in the 5th round of Dynasty startups, and Treadwell is much, much, much later, and only 20 catches for 200 yards last season. Will Fuller in the actual NFL draft, I think, went 2 picks ahead of Laquan Treadwell in 2016. Would that be?
Could have been.
They were very close, but I know Will Fuller went ahead of him.
This is their 3rd year, so it would have been, yeah.
Yep. So give me Treadwell over Will Fuller. I think it's mostly that I don't believe in Will Fuller. I think Will Fuller is extremely overrated for where he's being drafted. Really? It doesn't make any sense.
Did you forget what happened when Will Fuller and Deshaun Watson played together?
No, I didn't. I don't. And
Fuller averaged 2 touchdowns a game.
Yeah, for how many games? Was it
3 or
4?
5 or yeah? I mean, it was a very
3 or
good
5.
3 or 5. Yeah, 3 or 5. That sounds about right.
Stop deleting the hot takes from our sheet, by the way.
I didn't delete anything.
You have 2. You deleted the one you just read about Deion Lewis.
That's because we know it. We got it.
Are you recording these? Because we're going to come back to these.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got them.
Okay. Are you sure?
Yes, positive.
Okay, I don't want to have to, follow up on this.
Shocker. Will Fuller. So from weeks 4 to 8, there was a bye weekend there. Week 4, he had 2 touchdowns. Week 5, he had 2 touchdowns. Week 6, he had 1.
Mm-hmm.
Week 8, he had 2.
Great.
So he averaged...
it's a hot take for a reason. Yeah, Will Fuller should be drafted ahead of Laquan Treadwell everywhere. I would do the same thing.
Okay.
And Will Fuller should, he would be ranked ahead of Laquan Treadwell on everybody's ranking list. It's a hot take for a reason. I don't really believe in Will Fuller. I think he's a one-trick pony. He's a fly route kind of guy, which is great, and it might work out for him. He might be the next Tyreek Hill, because that's what we thought about Tyreek Hill very early. And I've come around on that. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, if you're asking me to... pick a guy that's going to vastly outplay his ADP, I'm going to take Laquan Treadwell.
So where's he finish? Wide receiver?
I'm not saying he finishes as a wide receiver 1, a wide receiver 2, or hell, maybe a wide receiver 3. I think that's what you're hoping for out of Treadwell. At this point, you're hoping for wide receiver 3 numbers. And I really don't know if you're going to get it.
Out of Will Fuller or Treadwell?
Out of Treadwell. And obviously, I think Will Fuller has the capability of being much worse. I think it's a realistic possibility.
Okay.
So,
I am not taking that. Give me Will Fuller. Sure. I think Will Fuller scores more touchdowns in one game than Treadwell has all year.
All right. What do you got?
We'll stay with the Texans here. Lamar Miller, currently being drafted as running back 33, finishes in the top 24. Last year, he finished as a running back 16. So, I like Lamar Miller. Lamar Miller was the running back 1 for a few weeks last season. Doesn't look like Foreman is coming back well from his Achilles.
No, it doesn't.
Miller's gonna dominate those backfield touches. When he and Watson were on the field together, he was a high scoring option. I will clearly take Lamar Miller as that RB33 to put up RB2 numbers at least.
I don't hate it at all. I like Lamar Miller quite a bit. I'm actually surprised at what we're agreeing on here, but Lamar Miller is a sick value. I think you kind of brought me around this offseason. We were talking about him at one point, and so Lamar Miller's. I'm all in.
Sweet.
All in. That running game belongs to him.
Yes, and he's still young, 27, 28 years old. I mean, he
has a couple years out, a couple years more.
Oh yeah.
I think wherever he ends up after Houston, I think I'm out, but. While he's in Houston, I'm all in. Let's see. What else we got here?
Where's yours? Just your hot take now.
I'm trying to pick which one I want to do.
Lamar Miller's 27.
I think Jameis Winston finishes the season as a QB1, top 12. Current ADP is in the 13th round. He is the 22nd quarterback being drafted, and he is suspended the first 3 games. Call me bold, but I think he has enough talent around him to actually score QB1 numbers.
That is bold because last year when he had the same talent around him, he did not put up QB1 numbers.
He was a second year quarterback. I'm just saying he was still fairly young, fairly inexperienced, and I don't think Tampa Bay has a great year, but I mean Seattle didn't have a great year last year and Russell Wilson was QB1.
Yeah, cuz
the QB1.
Yeah.
It's possible.
I I don't know. I mean,
I don't have a lot of shares of Jameis Winston, but I was just looking at things last night and last week, and I'm just like,
this is his
Jameis Winston is getting really slept on.
This is his 4th season. He's never top. He's the most touchdowns he's thrown in a season is 28.
Respectable.
Yeah. Last year he had 6 300-yard games, which
There you go.
the year before. Yeah.
Trust me, I've read all these. He has the talent. He's has the physical ability to do it.
Physically, yes.
And
mentally,
maybe not. Maybe he takes a step forward. Maybe the suspension's a good kick in the butt, and this is going to change things a little bit for him.
but how many finger W's is he eating this year? Gosh, at that point,
Yeah, that's not hot.
No.
Screeching halt.
Oh man, are they? Yeah, I don't know. Would you want? You're a Broncos fan. Let's say Winston's a free agent next year. Do you want the Broncos to sign Winston?
Sure.
You'd be okay with that?
Absolutely, I'd be okay with that.
I would not.
I think he'd be an upgrade over Keenum, and I like Keenum.
I would not be if I were a Broncos fan. I don't think I would be okay with that.
Nah, I'd be all for it. He's gonna become a free agent, I think, and he's gonna be a headline. If he has just an okay year, he's gonna be a free agent. I don't think
they'll exercise that 5th-year option on him.
They might, but I just feel like they're kind of sick and tired of him. I mean, that's kind of the whispers. Is they're already considering other options.
Those finger W's.
Lost a lot of respect there.
Yeah,
All right,
I think a lot of people did.
What do you got?
Hot take here. Rookie wide receiver, Anthony Miller. It's no secret that I am very, very, very high on Anthony Miller. I think he finishes as the rookie wide receiver 1, and if we're comparing it to the entire league, he's going to finish in the top 30, is my hot take. He's currently being drafted as wide receiver 49.
Ooh.
So that's a jump.
The wide receiver 30 thing, I think, is a little weak. To say he finishes as the rookie wide receiver 1, while more bold, I think I'm with that.
I like Nagy. I think Nagy's he's gonna be a slot machine.
Why'd you stop at the top 30? Why didn't you go up like top 24? Wide receiver 2 numbers.
Because he could be a low end wide receiver 2, high end wide receiver 3. That's why.
Yeah. I just think it's pretty. I think top 30 is a shoo-in. I would expect top 30 for him.
He's not being drafted there though. He's being drafted at 50.
I don't really care how everybody else is drafting.
I know.
Draft him as top 30.
If for hot takes, obviously this is an improvement. It's not like I'm saying a guy being drafted at wide receiver 30 is going to finish as top 30. He's going to outproduce his ADP by 20 spots.
I think everyone's sleeping on Allen Robinson though too. I think that Allen Robinson's undervalued.
Trey Burton.
I
love
maybe Trey Burton. I'm not really on the Trey Burton.
Trey Burton could break Martellus Bennett's Bears tight end record for receiving yards. I wouldn't be surprised if Burton went over 1,000 yards this year. That's bold. That's hot.
Take it easy.
That's hot. Don't you have to sound like dead when you say it?
A little bit.
Zombified.
That's hot. You throw in a bunch of extra letters too in the middle of hot. All right, let's do the Dez Bryant one. Dez Bryant scores 10 touchdowns this season.
No.
A feat that he hasn't reached since 2004. Oh, and by the way, he is currently unsigned.
No.
Not on a roster.
Wait, since 2004?
Since 2014.
Okay. No.
You know you're not near your microphone,
I know,
right?
because I don't want to blare everyone's ears with me yelling. There is no freaking way that is going to happen. None. I would love to put a wager on that. None. Absolutely nothing. Zero. No chance.
So let's say tomorrow he gets signed by the Patriots. You don't think 10 touchdowns is realistic? And it's not realistic. Yeah, realistic. Yeah.
If he gets signed by the Patriots, sure. It's crazy to say that with him not on a team.
That's why it's a hot take.
Yeah.
So let's say he gets signed by the Browns.
No, absolutely not. The only team that would scare me would be... That's not true. New England would scare me if he signed with New England. The Packers would scare me if he signed with the Packers. The Saints wouldn't scare me if he signed in New Orleans. I would clearly take the under there.
They're not looking for wide receiver.
No, I'm just trying to think of teams that might scare me and high-volume passing offenses with good quarterbacks. He could sign in Seattle, and I'm not scared.
No, they got Brandon Marshall.
Get out of here. So, no, there's very few teams that I think would, if he signed there, I would be terrified that he's going to score 10 touchdowns.
Whatever team, I mean, I think he's part of the reason why he's not on a team. Like, I think teams have contacted him and said, hey, we'll give you that minimum, and he's not letting it happen, and he's picking his spot. He's going to come back with a vengeance this year, and I think he's going to do something good.
With what team, though?
I don't care. He's going to pick the right team, the right position, the right time, and he's going to take care of it. I think Des Bryant is an immensely talented player still.
What if he doesn't sign until week 4?
Then I guess that hot take is going to look pretty bad.
Oh, so you still wouldn't take it if week 4?
No, I'm going to roll it. I mean, if I knew he was going to sign somewhere in week 4, it'd be like, yeah, all for it. But I think he's going to sign somewhere by week 1.
I would think so too.
It's going to be somewhere.
But
he doesn't want to get into week 2 or 3 without being on a team.
He's not scoring 10 touchdowns in the NFL. No, maybe Canada. He scores 10 touchdowns.
Nope. NFL touchdowns were 6 points apiece.
No.
Yeah, that's my hot take.
Yeah, no way.
I want to tweet that one out. I'm going to get burned.
Wrong.
I'm going to get burned.
Oh, you are. You are absolutely going to get burned.
All right. Moving forward.
Sticking with some running backs. I think Rex Burkhead finishes as New England's RB1. Last year when he was on the field, he played as a top 10 running back, but nagging injuries hurt him down the stretch. Now Sony Michel is hurt, and it looks like he's going to have an opportunity to lead that backfield, and I think he runs with it. Pun intended.
So you think that he is the New England?
Yes,
RB1.
New England's RB1.
I don't hate it because there's just so many running backs in New England that I could see ending as the RB1. And I wouldn't be shocked if like 40 fantasy points, 30 fantasy points, like separated one from the last one, or third or fourth.
Yeah.
So I really think that, sure, there's a realistic shot there. I've never been high on Rex Burkhead. He's not on any of my teams.
You're taking all my hot takes. Like you believe in them.
Pretty much.
Except for the Gordon one.
None of yours are like outlandish like Des Bryant scoring 10 touchdowns. Like they're all pretty realistic.
Anthony Miller jumping ADP 20 spots. Lamar Miller jumping ADP 10 spots.
Yeah, but we spend so much time conversing about these guys that we're kind of on the same page with a lot of them, or you've talked me into believing like Lamar Miller could outplay his ADP, and I could definitely see that.
Believe.
And I don't like Derrick Henry, so yeah, I'll take anybody over Derrick Henry, and stuff like that. The only one I just absolutely hate is the Landry one, and I think that's mostly because you ticked me off when you said that Josh Gordon is immensely more talented. Makes zero sense.
Josh Gordon could finish as wide receiver 1. Jarvis Landry has no opportunity to finish as wide receiver 1. Do you disagree?
I do disagree with that.
Oh, well. Now you're just being...
No, I'm not. Why? Because Josh Gordon had one magical year?
Josh Gordon has proven he can finish as the wide receiver 1. What has Jarvis Landry ever done to make you think, oh, yeah, he could be the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy?
Have you ever watched Jarvis Landry play with Ryan frickin' Tannehill throwing him the ball?
Yes.
Then that doesn't tell you everything you need to know?
No, because he
can do everything. He's a great route runner. He's great on screens. He's a fine red zone threat. The dude, and plus now he seems like he actually gives a lick right now. He's grown into what he is. He's a great player. I will always stand by my assumption that, or what I believe is that he and Odell Beckham are very, very close when it comes to talent level. Give me Odell Beckham Jr. every year. Every year. I'm not saying that. But on a talent level, they both have the same situation. I think Jarvis Landry could be just as good as Odell Beckham Jr., and I guarantee it.
You are one of very few people that feel that way.
We'll see.
I'm going to try to get really hot with my next take, but I feel like you're going to take it.
I feel like I should have said that Jarvis Landry outplays Odell Beckham Jr. this year, but just kind of came to me.
Go ahead.
It wouldn't shock me.
So you're
not going to
put it in there?
Not going to draft him that way, but it wouldn't shock me.
All right, what do you got?
Oh, am I up?
Yep, I just did Burkhead.
I'm sorry. Alex Collins vastly outplays his ADP. Top 12 running back this season. See, you've always hated Alex Collins. I don't understand.
I know. I have. Last year I was on the Buck Allen train. And you were
Cut
on
by
the
the
Alex Collins
Seahawks
train.
September 3rd of 2017 and signed by the Ravens 2 days later. Crowded backfield won't stop him. Hasn't ever before. Started 12 games last season and almost cracked 1,000 yards in rushing. ADP is at the end of the 4th round and outside of the top 20 running backs being drafted as we speak.
Where's he at? Do you know where his ADP
Outside
is?
of the top 20. I think it's like 22.
Okay, so it's 22, and you think he's going to finish top 12. So you think his ADP is going to jump 10 spots, kind of like I do with Lamar Miller, but that's not that hot.
It's not that hot. Lamar Miller has actually done that before. I remember times where Lamar Miller was being drafted in the first round of Dynasty startups. For how much hate you give...
Lamar Miller was being drafted in the first round of Dynasty startups?
Dynasty startups as well as redraft circles too, yeah, at the end of the first round. That wasn't very long ago. We were playing fantasy at that time.
I don't ever remember Miller being a first-round draft pick.
Yep, end of the first. I remember specifically 8 to 12 range. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't. I'm not saying it didn't happen. I just don't remember that.
Call me a liar on my own podcast. Unbelievable. No, so yeah, maybe it's not as hot, and maybe you're right. It's apples to apples, but for as much hate as Alex Collins gets, I think it's a little hotter. It's hotter.
It's so gross. Like, that's so gross. Let me know. I'll hit the sounder of Paris actually doing it.
No, it's much better when I. Alex Collins.
That's hot.
Oh God.
Who edited this?
Somebody actually took the time to splice that all together. It's just
hot.
magical.
It's hot.
I just don't understand how you could watch Alex Collins play and not think Alex Collins is, good.
Because even his head coach won't commit to him being the lead guy.
Sure they will. Stop it.
Oh.
Sure they will.
Yeah. So Harbaugh really is all behind him. Well, we're going to address
Irish lion dancer.
I don't know why you love that.
I love that. It's just creative. Dude does line dancing.
Yeah.
And that's how he's ridiculously balanced. Have you ever I'm serious. They talked about that on Monday Night Football once, and I thought that was like the most interesting thing ever. Really stood out. I like Alex Collins all the way. He's better than any other running back they got there in Baltimore. Will you give me that?
I will give you that, but I know that there are Kenneth Dixon believers out there that think he's going to own the backfield.
And they can believe that all they want.
And there's Gus Edwards too.
All right, you got one more. Let's hear it.
I got one more. This is probably my hottest one, just from the Twitter takes, and I know how people are on this guy, and his ADP kind of reflects that. There's a guy currently being drafted as running back 12, according to Fantasy Football Calculator, Joe Mixon. And I am not a Joe Mixon fan on a personal level, and I'm not a Joe Mixon fan in fantasy. My hot take is he finishes outside of the top 20 running backs for the 2018 season.
Wow.
He's currently being drafted as RB12. Here's my stat. Marvin Lewis has had 4 running backs finish as an RB1 in his 14-year head coaching stint for the Bengals. Care to guess who?
I would imagine Gio did it once.
Wrong.
Okay. Give me a second.
Okay.
Who was that other guy?
One guy did it 3 times, and one guy did it once.
They weren't all. Has he always been with the Bengals?
Yes, Marvin Lewis has always been with the Bengals.
So it's definitely a Bengals running back, huh?
Yep.
My goodness. One guy did it 3 times?
Yep. That's Jeopardy, dude.
That's going to hit me like a ton of bricks.
Yep. Dude. Just like this guy would. This guy would hit you like a ton of bricks. Both of them probably would. One is no longer a Bengal. One is currently a Patriot.
Wow. Okay, then I'm definitely lost.
Jeremy Hill had one RB1 finish from Marvin Lewis. And Rudy Johnson did it 3 times.
Did he really?
So the most recent one was Jeremy Hill in 2015.
Wow.
So Marvin Lewis hasn't had an RB1 in 2 seasons.
And Jeremy Hill is garbage.
You think Jeremy Hill's garbage?
Jeremy Hill's garbage. He's a garbage person, too.
In 14 years, Marvin Lewis has had 2 guys that have finished as RB1s.
Wow.
So I am off the Joe Mixon train. I was never on the Joe Mixon train. I know everyone likes him. I don't like him.
Except for his ex.
That wasn't his ex. It was just some girl that called him a name in a Subway.
Well, I'm sure his ex is.
But you know what? In that Subway, no one was wearing Tasmanian devil slippers. Guarantee it.
It all comes back around, Matt. It all comes back around.
Boom.
That's hot.
So,
so
no, I'm taking not Marvin Lewis. I'm sorry, Joe Mixon outside the top 20.
I'm against you. I don't
Whoa.
like Joe Mixon because he hits women, but I could totally see him
Allegedly.
top 20. It's fair. That's fair. We're fair here. I don't know, man. I think Joe Mixon's pretty good. He's primed, and Gio Bernard's kind of losing a step. So
You think he'll finish inside the top 20?
it just would not shock me at all. I could totally see it happening.
I don't. I'm out.
I think that I could see him having such a good year that next year when we're doing Dynasty Startup Talk, I could see him being a first-round running back.
Get out of here.
I'm serious. I really could, dude. People like young running backs, man, and he's going to have another year in Cincy. So if he has a solid year, he actually produces what he's supposed to produce this year, you're telling me you don't see that happening?
No, I don't see that happening.
We don't have another Saquon Barkley coming in.
You watch your mouth. Bryce Love?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I know. He's not going to have the...
He's not a first round... did you say first round running back
Barkley
or
was-
first round pick?
I'm saying first round pick overall in startups. Barkley was going top 4.
Yeah, Barkley's... I'm not talking about Love now. I'm talking about Mixon. I don't think Mixon's a first round startup pick.
I'm just saying,
next
if he
year.
has a good enough year, it's possible. That's all I'm saying. He's still young enough. He's at a position where it's a little bit weak, and everybody wants to get the next big thing or somebody that's at least solid. I could see him sneaking into the end of that first round of startups.
So do you think next year that Joe Mixon or Le'Veon Bell has a higher ADP?
Le'Veon Bell.
Okay, so that's not in the right range. Next year, Leonard Fournette or Joe Mixon?
I think there's your range. I think that could be really, really close.
McCaffrey or Mixon?
That's a good one.
McCaffrey all day. But this is my hot take where I'm against Joe Mixon. So
I think it could be close. I think McCaffrey is. I'll say this. I think McCaffrey is the best running back that can catch passes. He's the best receiving running back in the NFL. I will say
In the
that
NFL.
right, in the NFL.
Whoa.
Le'Veon Bell is right there, but if you have to actually look at it from
Whoa.
an age standpoint, McCaffrey is already at that level.
How are you going to put McCaffrey ahead of Kamara? How?
Easy.
How?
I just will.
Kamara finished as...
I'm not saying Kamara isn't good. I'm not saying that at all.
Shane McCaffrey's...
I'm saying McCaffrey, if I have to pick one running back in the NFL and if for some reason my offense needs a receiving running back, it's Christian McCaffrey. You take age, you take athleticism into it. Yeah, and he even has the bloodline too. Ed McCaffrey is one hell of a wide receiver. I don't know if you remember.
He's a Bronco.
He was a Bronco, yeah.
No. No way. No way. I'll take Kamara, and I don't even like Kamara over McCaffrey.
So you don't think there's any chance that Joe Mixon finishes, he's even in the conversation for late first round?
No. I can name... No, if we're talking first round running backs or
First round picks.
No.
Top 12 picks.
No.
Dynasty startup.
No freaking way. There's only 5 or 6 running backs that are top 12 picks. No, I don't think he's going to be a top 5 or 6 running back next year. No, absolutely
I'm not saying that I think it happens. I'm just saying I could see it totally happening.
I cannot see it happening in any way, shape, or form.
Now, see, there
Zeke.
you are again.
You don't take Mixon over Zeke. You don't take Mixon over Gurley. You don't take Mixon over DJ.
What if one of those guys has a terrible injury week 17 or in the playoffs sometime?
David Johnson didn't play after week 1, and he's being drafted as the RB4, RB3 right now.
Part of that was because the Cardinals' season was over pretty quickly. They were talking about him coming back mid-season.
There's no way.
And they just decided not to.
That I wouldn't take Mixon over Barkley. I wouldn't take Mixon over Johnson, Zeke, Bell, Gurley. Did I say Saquon?
If David Johnson has a bad year, he's not getting talked about in the first round next year.
I don't think he has a bad year.
If he does, it's
Kamara,
possible.
Fournette, Melvin Gordon, Kareem Hunt, Dalvin Cook.
Kareem Hunt, there's a lot of Kareem Hunt doubters.
Yeah,
so let's say Kareem Hunt has a
I'm
bad
just
year.
listing off these guys in order. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Mixon has a good year and Kareem Hunt has a down year that Mixon's above
What about Dalvin Cook? If Dalvin Cook has a poor year where he doesn't live up to expectations, we've only seen Dalvin Cook for 4 games. Looks great.
And he's a stud.
But let's just I would agree. I agree with that. But let's say he doesn't. He's not a stud this year. You're talking about guys that have realistic possibilities of dropping out of this first round status. If you compared those numbers to 2017 startups, I bet you it'd look pretty different.
Maybe. I don't have 2017 startups in front of me, but
Just saying.
no. There's absolutely no way Mixon, in my opinion, is a first round dynasty startup pick next year. No. I will die on that hill.
I just think it's possible. The guy's talented enough. And obviously he's with a coach that can make him capable. So
Obviously, with a coach
Prove my
that
point.
hasn't done it ever.
if he made Jeremy Hill a top running back, I think he can do it with Joe Mixon. That's all. And I hate Marvin Lewis. We didn't talk about Stafford whatsoever. I know we have one more hot take, but we didn't even talk about Stafford.
No, he's currently being drafted as QB 12.
Probably accurate, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he finishes top 5. I'm not going to say that.
I'll raise you 2.
You think he's going to finish top 3?
I think he could finish top 3.
I mean, he could. If I were to force to take it or leave it, I would leave it because it gives me more of a. Like, there's more options.
We nailed Stafford last year.
Yes, we did.
If you want to go back and check that
Yes,
episode
we
out,
did.
feel free. And then your boy, even though I backed out in the middle of the season, I called Marquise Goodwin
You did
preseason.
And I called Keenan Allen top 5.
Yeah, you did. You nailed Keenan Allen.
I've been on that train for a while.
So my last one here is kind of a whimper, but Austin Hooper finishes the season top 6 at his position.
Where's he being drafted?
Not top 6.
Okay.
I don't have it in front of me.
Okay.
I mean, you have the ADP.
I do. I just didn't know if you had it.
While you're looking that up, it's his 3rd year in the NFL, hasn't scored more than 3 touchdowns in a single season, and I'm clearly expecting a very, very big breakout.
Austin Hooper is currently being drafted in the 13th round, tight end 16.
Wow.
He's being drafted behind guys like O.J. Howard, overrated John Howard, Jack Doyle, Tyler.
I get it.
I'm hurt.
Overrated
My back.
John.
Yeah.
That took me a minute.
I don't know what OJ's.
That Paris Hilton's clips are really catching up to me. I'm sorry.
Tyler, I've hurt my back. George Kittle, Njoku, Jordan.
Give me him over Kittle and all those other guys you just named too. Not Njoku.
I like Kittle, but I would take Hooper over Eifert. I would take Hooper over Howard. I don't think I would take him over anybody else.
If there was one hot take that I did this year that is comparable to the Goodwin one, where it might take some time, but it could
play
come
out.
to fruition, I think it's Hooper.
I agree.
Yeah.
I like Hooper. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I've been on that. We have talked about Hooper off air.
Zero competition
Before.
there, too. He's
Yeah.
going to play every
And he's
game.
a third-year tight end, which I think people forget is usually the year that tight ends break out.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's his opportunity here.
And top 6 is great. I mean,
Yeah.
that's great for that position.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you figure Gronk's 1, Kelsey's 2,
Gronk might, if Gronk can stay healthy, he's number 1.
Ertz is 3,
Kelsey is there.
Trey
I agree
Burton
with
is
Ertz.
4.
I should have did Hooper over Burton.
Oh, you want to do that? I will wager that. I will put a wager on that.
Yeah, I think I would do that too.
Okay.
I really think I would.
What do you want to bet?
I don't want Burton in any league.
I love Burton.
I'm trying to decide if it's because of where he gets drafted or if it's just if I'd rather have him.
He's being drafted at the end of the 7th round. He's currently he's tight end 9. Oh, I love Trey Burton.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Give me Hooper.
What are we betting?
Whatever. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it the next week's
Oh,
show.
man. We have to do some sort of video, like pie in the face.
Or loser has to watch that montage of That's Hot for like 24 hours.
I can't do anything for 24 hours. How am I going to watch something?
Look at him trying to get out of it already. This is ridiculous.
No, that's not realistic.
Unbelievable.
I'll give you a pie to the face.
No, I don't want no pie to the face. What is this, a freaking circus? I'm not doing pies to the face. Get out of here. I will tell you one that I wrote down, and I'm not going to commit to it, so this doesn't count. Freebies.
Then who cares?
Paul Richardson topped 70 catches on the season. Only 15 wide receivers hit that mark last season.
I will say no,
comparables.
thank you.
44 was his season high in Seattle. That was
You
2017.
think he's going to catch 70?
Current ADP, it's a much different situation. Current ADP, 1412.
It's a much different quarterback.
1412 is behind numerous kickers, defenses, and Geronimo Allison.
It's a much different. Oh, my God.
I think it is mostly Paul Richardson is just being forgotten about, and he really shouldn't be at all.
You think he's going to top 70 receptions?
I obviously don't believe it enough to actually throw it on the show and to stand by it. So it doesn't count. But I did want to throw that out there.
I just want you to tell you this. Tyreek Hill finished with 75 with Alex Smith.
Yeah, no, I know.
And he was
70s,
their wide receiver
70s high. 70s high. What I feel like I had too many that are like RB12 or better, or whatever.
Right.
I feel like that's kind of why he got dropped off there. I think that Paul Richardson has a great chance of finishing the season as a wide receiver 2.
Wow.
I think there's a shot at it. Dude's okay, and there's not a lot better.
Isn't he their wide receiver 3?
No, he's the wide receiver 2, actual wide receiver 2 there.
Crowder?
Yep. And there you go.
Josh Doxson?
No.
No?
No.
Jordan Reed.
Okay.
He's a wide receiver 1. Jordan Reed. I mean, he's a tight end. Crowder's 1. Paul Richardson's 2. Okay. I guess.
That crazy? I don't think that's crazy.
It is crazy, but
I think the 70 is crazy. I think him finishing as a wide receiver 2 is not crazy. It's going to take a lot from that offense, a real step up for a wide receiver 2 to be justified.
That's top 24. I think I would still take the under, but I guess it's
you
not.
should. You should take the under.
Yeah, it's a hot take.
Okay. Maybe I'll change that one.
Yeah, I like Crowder if we're talking about Washington wide receivers, but
you should. He's the wide receiver 1 there.
know,
Everyone should.
No one's like a big play wide receiver in Washington now.
But Paul Richardson might be. That was all Paul Richardson did in Seattle, was a big play here and there.
Big play wide receiver is in Washington, Chris Thompson.
Yeah. No, I agree.
5-year, $40 million deal. That's just crazy to me.
I think he was the the top wide receiver for this year's free agency class.
No, Sammy.
Okay.
I feel like I'm forgetting another one. There were multiple. Allen Robinson.
There were a bunch of guys.
Jarvis Landry.
Jarvis Landry wasn't a free agent. He got traded.
That's true. Okay. Allen Robinson was a free agent.
Yeah, I would take Allen Robinson
over Paul Richardson.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Wow. That about does it.
That was a hot take.
That's hot. You said it.
I know. Paris, you want to close us out?
Yeah.
That's hot. That is really hot.
Trashy TV.
Oh, stop it. That's fun TV.
Well, it was trashy Nicole Richie, I guess.
She does bring down the trash.
Oh.
Like the trash level goes up whenever you see Nicole Richie.
She's not, she's cleaned herself up now. I saw a picture of her. She was on some TV show.
She'll always be,
Ex-Tina. That's who she reminds me of. Dirty. Remember Christina Aguilera with Dirty?
Oh.
The song Dirty?
Dude, I was in high school. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what Nicole Richie on that show reminded me of. Wow, we talked too much about, what was the name of that show even?
Oh.
Paris and Nicole do stupid jobs.
Yeah.
Simple Life.
Simple Life. Thank you. Yep. That was the one.
Yep.
That was the one. That's hot. All right. Well, that does it for the show, Matt. Next week,
man.
Do we have anything big planned next week, or are we just going to kind of...
Next week is the preseason recap. And then following week, it's go time. The season starts, and it's our birthday. Oh. We are 2 weeks out from our 1-year anniversary of the Dynasty Dads.
Wow. And it's my wife's birthday this weekend. She turns 40. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
She robbed the cradle.
I'm kidding. She's 22. Ish.
I was like, then she has an 8-year-old?
Ish. No, don't go judging. Don't go judging. All right, so anyways, next week's show, we're going to go ahead and talk about the preseason. We're going to give you guys some last-second tips and things that you should do before the season starts.
Guys to go get.
Yep, guys to go get, guys to sell while you still can. And we're going to kind of, like Matt said, we're going to kind of preview the season a little bit, preview week 1, and next week is when the real fun starts. Or, as I would say, the grind, because we're going to be doing this for about 20 weeks straight.
Boom.
Every week.
You ready?
Talking about numbers.
You ready for that?
All that other fun stuff. Hopefully we can get a couple interviews in the middle there.
Dad stats?
Yeah, and some dad stats. Oh, man, I got to get back on board with that.
Yeah.
Well, that does it for the show, Matt, unless you got anything else you want to add.
I don't. No, I'm ready. I cannot wait to get most of my hot takes right and to laugh at yours.
Be sure to check out RubeSheets.com for any of your drafts going on this week. It's really, honestly, it's an amazing site, and they're not even paying us for this part of it. So it's pretty cool, and it's definitely worth checking out, especially since it's free. So yeah, that's about it. Check out dynastydads.com. Go ahead and tweet at us at dynastydads on Twitter, and be sure to leave us some 5-star reviews on iTunes. And until next time, guys, we are out.
God bless.
Thanks for hanging out with us on another episode of the Dynasty Dads Podcast. Be sure to subscribe on iTunes and follow us on Twitter at Dynasty Dads. Visit us at our website, dynastydads.com, for articles, news, and notes, Dynasty Dads gear, and more.